Hello, users, and welcome back to another episode of Above It All. And in Raleigh, North Carolina, it appears that police officers have decided to take it upon themselves to threaten murder against a queer bar owner. I did a video a few days ago where Unicorn Riot was interviewing someone in Minneapolis, a black business owner, and in the middle of the interview, the police basically assaulted them live on stream. And it's interesting that, again, the police ostensibly are, here to protect and to serve, right? In reality, they are trained to maximize damage to human life and minimize damage to rich people's property. And the reason I add rich people's is because, again, if you're a black person, your property does not matter. If you're a gay person, your property does not matter. This has to be understood. Unless you are a multimillionaire white person, the police will probably try to find a way to fuck with you, okay? Like, this is just how things go in the United States of America. So I've got some highlighted text here I want to read, and then I've also got the accompanying video that I'm going to show. Tim Lemuel owns Ruby Deluxe in Raleigh, North Carolina, and on Monday night, June 1st, he kept watch outside his bar to stop protesters vandalizing the building, according to the News and Observer. In the parking lot of the LGBT plus bar, Lemuel and his staff set up a first aid station for protesters, handing out granola bars, bottled water, and helping them wash pepper spray out of their eyes, which, by the way, that is absolutely amazing. That is, again, fantastic. There is no such thing as a police medic. There is no such thing as an ambulance EMT service in these protests. Those are a thing of the past. You need to realize that if you do go with medics, or especially medics accompanied by police in a protest, chances are you will never be seen again, or you will be seen in weeks from now after you're suffering from coronavirus in crowded jail cells. So, street medics are the most important thing in these protests. Now, one thing I want to say explicitly, street medics, this is anarchism in effect. These are people you've never met before that are only there to help you, and that's something you have to understand. I've been to many of these protests. I have talked to a lot of street medics, and they just want to be there to help people. And one thing I do whenever I go to a protest is I try to have first aid equipment on me at all times, because even if I don't know how to use something, chances are at a protest there will be somebody who does know how to use stuff. So it's possible that somebody is underprepared or used all of their equipment, and if something happens, if you can provide first aid to anybody, even just giving it to somebody else to help, that is more than enough to just help your fellow citizen. That's what this is all about. This is about community aid, mutual aid, and helping one another in these desperate and disparate times. And so I'm going to move on here. We got the video here. I got it open here a little bit larger. So let's play it.
At them. Chill out. Don't be aiming at them. This is my business.
Tim.
This is my business. I rent this place. I rent here. I rent here. I rent this place. This is my business. This is my business. This is my business.
What appears to be a shotgun, by the way.
The game is over. Get out.
This is my business.
The game is over. Get out! Like, these people, again, I say this in every video, and if you're watching all of these, I appreciate it, but I have to repeat myself. Cops are not human beings. They do not possess basic personality traits that you would find in most human beings. They do not have empathy. They do not have sympathy. They do not have care. They only treat the world like they're playing Call of Duty. And now, again, could you imagine being such a fucking meathead thug that you point a shotgun at a business owner who is telling you that that is their business and they are protecting that business from rioting and vandalism, right? if you take it upon yourself to scream and shoot a shotgun at that place and say the game is over, like, what does that mean? The game is over. Like, what? Like, again, this is one thing I want to make very clear about my opinions on this sort of stuff. We are all training, whether or not you think you are, we are all training for the inevitable moment where push will come to shove and we will have to make an action. We will have to say something, we will have to do something at some point in our lives, probably sooner than later, but at some point in our lives we will be in a situation in where, like, everything in your life up until that point is what propels you to make a decision in crisis moments or moments of crisis. And again, a police officer who's presumably 30, 40, 50 years old, right, training to kill their entire lives, playing Call of Duty every night, training to kill, right, just hoping, maybe one day, and this is that day for them. This is that day where push came to shove for these police officers, and the thing that comes out of their mouths is they scream, bellowing, echoing throughout the streets, the game is over, after shooting a shotgun, right, at a queer bar that is housing medics and housing protesters. All right? This is what I'm trying to say. Your life is a constant motion, a series of events. Every moment that you live in this country or another country, every moment that you experience things like this, every moment that you see something like this online, every moment that you engage in discourse, all runs up to a moment, the moment where you have to make a critical decision. And for these police officers, again, they have been training for decades. Again, white supremacists have infiltrated law enforcement. An FBI memo from 2006 or around there has said this, and this has been untouched. Yes, the black president didn't do anything about it. I know, people keep saying we had a black president and that solved racism, but all of a sudden, the black president leaves and everything is way worse. It's weird. It's definitely strange. But again, these police have been infiltrated by white supremacists and neo-Nazis that literally play like fucking video games all day and prep for the race war. And this for them is that moment. This for them is what they've been preparing for. To be able to just shoot shotguns willy-nilly, right? And scream, the game is over, right? This is what they've been training to do.
This is my business. This is my business.
Come on, Tim.
Yeah, as you can see, they are not human beings. They do not respond, right, to pleading. They do not respond to basic information. This is why you see police assault journalists. Journalists will have their press credentials in their hand, right? And they will scream, press, I'm press, I'm press, I'm press. And even though they are saying that, even though their credentials are in their hands, even though the police officers can see that, they will still run up to that person, throw their camera to the ground, stomp on it, break it, hit them in the face with a riot shield, smash them in the fucking waist with a baton. They do not care about the rules, because for them, this is Call of Duty. For them, this is their Race War Simulator 2020. For them, this is fun. This is what they get their rocks off to, is brutalizing, murdering, and assaulting civilians. Not just civilians, but property owners on their property, right? Tyranny has come to our doorstep, everybody. Tyranny is here. For all you 2A people that are like, don't tread on me, right? Minneapolis, destroying their police precinct, that's what don't tread on me actually looks like, okay? That's what actually fighting against tyranny actually looks like. If you want to sit in your fucking den of despair and misery with your don't tread on me flag, with your fucking stupid assault rifles that you don't know how to use, eating Cheetos all day and watching fucking the race riots on TV, right? If that's what you do, you are a freak of nature. You are just literally we should study you and put you as a separate species in the scientific journals, because you are just possessing some very bizarre genetic makeup that would create such a disaster of a human being, right? It really is just bizarre. It really is bizarre. Again, there's these people out there that think that Trump is just, he's strong. He's so strong, right? This is the thing. White supremacists have been in our police for decades, okay? The FBI found out about it in the late aughts, okay? That's when they found out about it. So it's been happening way longer, okay? When the FBI says something, that's like, you know it has to have been there for at least an extended period of time before that, right? So these people were slightly more quiet under the Obama administration, right? They were still terrible. A lot of my personal experiences with cops abusing me were under the Obama administration, but they were slightly more low-key about it. When Trump came into office, he basically gave, with his bully pulpit, open permission for police to basically do whatever they want, and there will be no FBI investigation. There will be no oversight. This is why you have police that have 71 complaints of abuse of force against them, and they're still out there pepper spraying and gassing protesters. This is why this is a thing. I want to read the rest of this article here. I've got more highlighted text from the business owner that I think is important. I was in the Army for 8 years, so the bangs did not bother me, but my staff were scared out of their minds. If you've never been in that situation, it appears like you're going to be killed, okay? And that's, again, like, imagine hearing this. Right?
The game is over! Get out!
This is my business.
Imagine hearing that. You don't see it, right? You hear shotguns bursting, right? Like, and then some fucking thick-headed fucking meatwad screaming, "The game is over." If that doesn't instill, like, trauma into somebody, I don't know what will. But the problem here is that they want to traumatize us. They want to make us scared. They want to make us run and hide. But we need to weaponize our trauma for good. This is my thing, is I've been personally assaulted and beaten by police in my lifetime, right? Police violence was something I did not want to talk about in any in-depth way on my channel for a significant period of time because of that. But with this whole situation going on, I feel like, again, it is incumbent upon me, given my experience, given what I know about how police work, it is incumbent upon me to use my trauma for the greater good, to weaponize it for justice and for peace. Because if I just sit here and cry watching all these videos, which I do, if I just do that and then just do nothing about it, I'm letting them win. I'm letting them successfully ruin my life. And that's something that I don't think is acceptable. You know, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to be scared. But, like, it's one of those things where, you know, I'm just making YouTube videos here. Like, I still will go to protests. I still go to protests. I went to several over last weekend, right? I will still do that kind of stuff. But if I've got a YouTube channel, the least I can do is talk about things that are important, even if they are hard for me to talk about. Because, again, if I can educate 5 people out there, if, say, 300 people watch this video and only 5 walk away with a better understanding of how people feel about police in this country, you know, I've done my job. That's me succeeding. That's me using my trauma for the greater good to create, or at least to strive to create, a better society. Not everyone can do everything alone, right? But if I'm helping 5 people realize what's happening in this country, they can maybe help 5 people, and it just becomes a butterfly effect. And that's my goal here, is to help people realize what's happening in this country, to arm them with the knowledge, to arm them with how to speak, and to arm them with ideas about how to go about in society to bring about justice and a better world. And again, I'm just a YouTuber, right? Like, I'm not some profound prophet. I'm a terrible person for the most part, but I just care about other people. And that's what separates me from the bystanders, the white moderates, the liberals, right? Right? That's what separates me, is I actually care about other people, right? I have been through police violence, right? I could just stay in my house all day, and I could just hide and run and fear and not talk about it and avoid it, but that's not going to help anybody else, okay? And I know I'm repeating myself, so I'm just going to turn the video off now, but thank you for watching. Go watch some of these videos if you want to see some other things. Again, if you have any sort of news or video of police violence, brutality, or just really anything in relation to all of this going on, send it to me. I will cover it as soon as I can. Thank you. But go watch these videos. They're good.